Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Jason Vinson. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer based out of Northwest Arkansas. And today we are speaking with George, who is the man, the myth, the legend behind Portrait Masters Conference. If you haven't met George before, he's an amazing guy. And so today we're going to be talking a little bit about what Portrait Masters is kind of morphing into as we deal with this whole COVID-19 stuff. So how's that going so far?
It's been interesting. It feels like we've just lived through like 10 years over the last 6 months. It's just everything has changed so fast, especially on the conference trade show side with, no one being able to actually have in-person conferences or trade shows. And so we made that decision probably around April and then started all right, brainstorming on what this would look like. I sat in 10 different demos of like virtual trade shows and everything. And we just decided, let's do this in a different way than most people are doing it. And what we did is we pre-shot all the content. There's only one, it says TPM live.
Mm-hmm.
Will be live. Sue Bryce and Nikki Klosser will be co-hosting live, giving away products and prizes, and then also kind of introing every class that's coming up and the speakers and everything like that. Sue's going to do her closing keynote live from here. But really, we went through everything, and this conference is much different than what you'll see any other photo conference in that we pre-shot all the content, which we did shootouts from Sony and Profoto and Canon. We rented a studio in New York. We rented Peter Hurley's studio. We had people come in here. We did it in the safest way possible. Everybody was masked up. We had hand sanitizer everywhere. We tried to limit the number of people in the studio to make it safe. I think we did our production team did an excellent job in making sure everybody felt, safe walking in the studio. But we have actual shootouts where it's one model, 4 photographers. Each photographer gets to choose what dress she's going to wear, the backdrop and the lighting, and then they go. So you can imagine you're going to have 4 different types of photography coming out of this, like 4 tips for different types of photography and how they're all going to shoot it. You can imagine Peter Hurley is going to shoot something much different than Laura Jade or Carl Ferguson or Susan Stripling, from that matter. They all have their own style. And that's where these shootouts kind of the idea came out of if we're going to do this, let's do it in a different way than everybody else is, because everybody is doing kind of Zoom or webcam based conferences. We wanted to kind of take it up a notch or 2.
Yeah, I think that'll be really interesting because at the live one last year, I think for me, one of the most interesting aspects was every time one of the speakers would get up, they'd do like a presentation and then they would go into like a live shoot and you got to see how they performed, what they shot, and they kind of walked through their setup and their lighting and stuff like that. And so being able to see how each speaker tackled what they actually do on stage was actually really interesting. So actually seeing them have a little bit of a competition factor in it, I think that'll be really cool.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool. So we weren't able to fly to New York and be a part of it. So we had to Zoom in. Our production team set up a Zoom thing. We had 4 cameras zoomed in so we could watch it and watch people approach it. And it was really cool. It was really fun to watch. And I think the attendees that are part of TPM Live are going to love it, because it did get a little competitive in some parts. We didn't want it to be a competition. We just wanted to show it, but it did get a little competitive, which was cool.
Yeah. Anytime you have shootout, it's going to be a little.
Yeah, exactly. It is going to be a little competitive, but you're right. Really part of the Portrait Masters when we started it in 2017 was we didn't want this to be a lot of other conferences where it's just a speaker goes up and gives a PowerPoint and, sits down. Let's see them shoot. And with, what we do at the Portrait Masters in-person conference is it's just 9 of the best speakers, one stage. There's not a lot of there's no breakout classes. We just want to put the very best on stage and you can watch them shoot as an attendee. And I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So how are you guys tackling the trade show aspect of Portrait Masters as far as had booths and shooting stations and all that fun stuff?
Right. That is another part of the challenge of this whole thing. And you're really kind of recreating the wheel to some degree. So last year, I felt like we had a kind of a leg up on most just because we live streamed our show the first 2 years. Last year, we just recorded it. And if you were a member of Super Ice Education, you got that as part of being a member.
Mm-hmm.
This year's a little bit different. So from the trade show standpoint, last year we launched the demo stage and we live streamed the demo stage. So each vendor had 20 minutes to go up and demo their products. And most of the time it was one of their ambassadors to kind of show people. And we live streamed it out.
Mm-hmm.
We had something like 50,000 uniques tune in over 3 days, which is pretty good. And a lot of the vendors got a lot of traction from it. So we decided to take that. We couldn't do it live this year. That would be a little too crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
all the vendors have pre-recorded 20-minute demos.
Okay.
So you've got demos from like Vanessa Joy from Profoto. Jerry Gionis is doing something for the iSlight.
Okay.
You've got Susan doing something for Canon, Carolyn Tran doing something for Fuji, Brian Smith for Sony. So you have a lot of the ambassadors kind of showing you how to use their cameras or their products, which is pretty cool.
Okay. And so as far as Portrait Masters, the live event, like the in-person event, one of my favorite aspects too is kind of like these happy hours and this social aspect of getting to like mingle and go to dinner and lunch with all these people. So how are you guys tackling this like community aspect that has
right? And that's such a
Masters?
huge part of our show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like is the community aspect and the networking, and people get to come and see their best friends every year. They get to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of take, we really, you know, want to grow that community and grow that kind of feeling where they can come in and not only see their old friends, but meet new. So that's the huge challenge of the online part. So what we did is we're going to have a 15 to 20 happy hour Zoom rooms every night. And
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be everything from like meet the speakers, I want to learn about lighting, or I want to karaoke, or I'm going to jump in and do trivia, and we're going to have prizes for trivia. And then we're also going to have George's Bar, where you can just come and drink and just, you know,
Yeah,
chew the fat
send me
with
the
everybody.
link to that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll hop in between that one and then the one where Sue and Laura are doing karaoke. I think that'll be a
Yes, right. That was good. Last year was hilarious. That was kind of impromptu, and it ended up being huge. People went crazy. That was really fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna just try to mix it up. And yes, there's gonna be Zoom rooms that you can happy hour Zoom rooms where you can go and like, you know, ask Peter Hurley a question or Sue or somebody like that, or you can just come to the bar and hang out and have a drink.
Very cool. So as far as these Zoom rooms, I'm not sure what Zoom limits are. Like, is it going to be first come, first serve? And then once it's full,
Yeah, it'll be
full?
first come, first. Yeah, it'll be
Okay.
first come, first serve. And if it's full, then you just go to the next one and then maybe try to come back a little bit later. So
Gotcha.
they'll be going on for an hour or two every night
Okay.
after the show.
Very cool. I'll be interested. What's the limit as far as those rooms are concerned?
It's 100.
100
per room. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever been in a Zoom with 100 people. I'll be interested to see how that goes.
Yep. We're kind of, there's some things that we're kind of tinkering with. I think it'll be fun, but we hired like a Zoom consultant to like help us out and make sure that this goes seamlessly. So.
Yeah. Have a couple moderators in there, like muting people's mics and
yes. Yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure.
Very cool.
But it should be really fun.
And then as far as like the shooting aspect, so I know a lot of people go to Portrait Masters to help build like portfolios because you had all the shooting bays. As far as like registration goes, there like even as part of registration, you would walk through a line and shoot through bays and get like portfolio critiques and all that fun stuff. Are you guys doing anything to help encourage people to shoot during this, like challenges or anything like that?
Well, because certain states are restricted, and we didn't want to get into the shooting aspect.
Mm-hmm.
What we decided to do, and that is such a huge part of the in-person show, is like being able to improve your portfolio and learn on the spot in the shooting bays.
Yeah.
This year we decided, let's bring the best content we possibly can and have people learn through these 3 days, and then go out and shoot on their own time where they feel safe. And we just wanted to keep it safe, and every state is different. And so for us, we just wanted to bring the very best content we possibly could for a very affordable price for photographers, and be able to learn those 3 days and then take those learnings and apply it to shooting in the future.
Yeah. And then you guys always have the Portrait Masters Facebook group and all that stuff. So as people are able to venture out, they can start sharing like what they've done and what they've made and all that fun stuff.
Exactly.
That's such a great Facebook group to be a part of.
It is a great Facebook group. Everybody is so engaged and really helpful. It's just a really positive group. I love it every year when we do that.
Yeah. And then, so do you have to have gone or be registered for Portrait Masters to be in that Facebook group? Is it like a
Yes,
members, past
you.
members only thing? Okay.
It's for no. It's actually for attendees only. So if
Attendees.
you're a
Okay.
paid attendee, then you get access to it.
Okay, cool. So random people watching this on F-Stoppers are going to be like, try join. You got to sign up.
You got to sign up.
Got to
Exactly.
sign up. Awesome.
Exactly.
And then just real quick, as far as like logistics go, what's been more difficult, the in-person or the virtual?
God, that's such a great question. It's you have new problems with the virtual, but the things that I don't miss for the in-person are like things that people outside, if you're not like an event organizer, you don't really know about, but like room blocks, you have to hit certain number of room blocks, or you get charged, or food and beverage. You know, for our show, all the meals are included, and we've done a variety of like food trucks and catered meals and plated things and breakfasts. That part is one of my least favorite parts of the job, just because you almost become like a food restaurant manager, and just making sure that everybody is happy, and there's a lot of food allergies and things like that. You're just trying to make sure that you provide enough food for everybody, and that is not an easy task.
Yeah.
While you're also trying to manage the rest of the show and all the whole roller coaster that goes
what
on,
everyone's actually there for.
right, exactly. So, but on the virtual side, you know, with the production and everything, it brings up other things you have to deal with. But I will say, this has been a blast trying to like come up with what is the coolest thing that we could bring to our audience, and we just want to keep getting better every year. And this one has been it has a lot of challenges with it, but at the end of the day, I think we've come up with something really cool for the attendees. And you know, we have like Mark Seliger and Tabitha Coffey, who was she had her own Bravo show for 10 years of Tabitha Takes Over, where she would go into salons and kind of make over salons. Her message is amazing. And we just have such an incredible speaker lineup. I'm really excited. And again, going back to those shootouts, I think those are going to be just absolutely amazing for people to watch. And
when you sign up for the conference, you get essentially lifetime access to all of these, or is it like watch it live? And
yes, there's two packages. So there's the 149 photographer pass, which you get access for 30 days. And then the 299, which is called the platinum pass, you get access for life.
Okay, very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're excited. We're excited. I mean, I wake up every day, I'm like, all right, what else can we do to make this cool? So it's been really fun. And we just have an amazing staff that's always coming up with new ideas to try to make it better. So we've had a blast trying to putting this on, and I can't wait for September 21st. It can't come soon enough.
So moving forward, are you going to keep it virtual, go back to in-person, or try and do a combination of the two, or like
that's a great question.
One in 6 months and then do an in-person the next 6 months, or?
I feel like you've been sitting in our meetings, because that's exactly what we've been talking about, is like maybe have more of a business focused online one, like a business masters. And then 6 months later, we would have our in-person one.
Yeah, because at this point, you've done the legwork for both of them now. So now it's kind of just like step and repeat, modify as needed, but you've gotten the majority of the legwork out of the way. So you might as well kind of keep riding the horse.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you can do for us what makes the online a little bit better, I think, because you can broaden the subject matter. So we've got so many classes now where we couldn't do in person, like, because we just don't have the room to do the breakout classes. But here we have all kinds of different classes. Susan Stripling's doing class on money. We've got marketing classes. Sue's doing kind of a class called Speak, and how to like find your voice. We're going in directions that we wouldn't necessarily be able to go in the in-person. So with this, we've got like 30 different classes that we're offering versus 9 that we can only do in person. So this lets us kind of broaden the content too, and give more than we could in person.
And is it a 1-day event, 2-day thing?
It's a 3-day event. It's September 21st through the 23rd. We are going to keep the trade show open a couple of days after that, just so people can take advantage of all the deals that all the vendors are offering. We've got almost 40 different vendors, and they're all coming with like really amazing deals. Most of them have demos. And so we'll have like a demo stage player, and it'll just be going all the time, and it'll be like Canon, Fuji, Sony, and it'll just kind of go down the line. and then all the deals will be there, and then their booth will be a landing page where you can watch their demo and then see all the deals. And if you want to contact them, set up a meeting, you totally can.
Very cool.
So yeah, we're trying to make this easy for everybody,
Yeah.
and except for us. we're kind of going above, but for the end user and for the vendors, we're trying to keep this as simple as possible.
Awesome.
And keep it affordable as well.
Yeah, definitely. All right, George. Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I appreciate the time, and I look forward to.
Jason, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in George's bar.
Yeah, me too. I'll be making drinks, and
yes,
people would be like, "That's not how you make that." Just it's all right. Just go with it.
You'll have to send out a like a link to everybody. Be like, have these mixers, have this alcohol, and you'll do like little cocktail recipes and have people mix the drinks and stuff.
We're gonna call it George's Bar, aka Cocktails and Dreams, and I'll be flipping stuff and Tom Cruising it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I am gonna miss trying to get my little George's coupons for the free drinks though.
Yeah, there's no drink tickets this year, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll save them for next year.
Yeah,
virtual drink tickets. Maybe.
I like it. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day.
Jason, thank you.
We'll be in touch.
All right, thanks. Have a good one. Yeah.